Let me just remove the text I added. There we go. New game. I've never played one of the investigation games before, so I legitimately don't know how it plays. So I'm about to find out. March 14th, 1:16 a.m. Whole bunch of question marks. To make sure the defendant is found guilty. What other choice do I have? Uh-oh. That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. Okay, that was the Steel Samurais. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. Oh my god. Who's this chump? Looks like a chump. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. That's what they all say. Yep, this is murder. Always have been, always will be. Yeah, that's a murdering chump. We're gonna show him what's what. Also, welcome to the stream, Blooples. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. I don't know if Gumshoe knows how to keep a room clean, but I want to believe in him. Oh, huh. There's like an overworld. This is interesting. This is different. The door is unlocked. Okay, so Murder Man obviously did a murder in my room, which is absolutely rude. First you're gonna come in, pretend you're a better prosecutor, and then murder in my room. Detective Gumshoe? What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood? I was so not expecting this, like, overworld sprite stuff. 'Cause, like, you saw the last game, it's very much, like, visual novel. This is, like, you're playing a Game Boy game. This looks like a Game Boy game. What the? Uh-oh. What's the meaning of this? Uh-oh. Edgeworth framed for murder 2. Electric Boogaloo. Edgeworth is like, I keep getting in this situation. Please stop. Freeze. Uh-oh. It's the gray man. He's gonna kill me. Identify yourself. Shut up. You got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Edgeworth is just like so stoked, like just so I don't care. Guy's got a gun to him and he's like, yeah, that was very rude of you to commit murder here, and I hate you personally. Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Not even I would get away with murder in my office. The guy just leaves. He's like, oh god. He realizes he's tussling with the wrong person. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I got that name because I'm worth so much edge. Like, smacks himself. This baby can fit so much edge in him. And I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home, after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases, and some very frantic and busy days. March 14th, 2:56 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. I've finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Are you okay, sir? It's Gumshoe. He's back. Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. Yes, he is one of the best detectives. This is Dick Gumshoe. He is a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... Ack! Look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. And Gumshoe went to all the effort of making our room nice. Honestly, that's the real crime the murderer did, is ruining Gumshoe's hard work. I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa, sounds like you're really getting burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Ho, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Maybe this time we'll get to give the updated autopsy report. Just imagine. One time we'll be ruining everyone else's day. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Ah yes, Edgeworth's perfect power, logic, and memory. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? I mean, maybe we were supposed to be framed, and oh wait, we actually have a button that's called logic and organizer, huh? When people are like, that's Edgeworth's power, I didn't know they literally meant you get a button called logic. I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? I mean, if this was done to frame us, though, it's a very bad job of it. Since no one seems to have arrested us. And I assume we're still going to be prosecuting it. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, just use that big boy galaxy brain, it should become clear to you. Logic? Such a strange concept. By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. I'm sorry, I know this is a tutorial, but like how they framed it as both a mechanic and something nobody knows is just really just fun to see. So how do you use it? First, I recall information through the logic button and then connect them together. Now to touch the logic button and recall the facts. I'm sorry, but this tutorial is just worded so funny. Connect. For security reasons, all prosecutor doors are outfitted with locks. Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? Probably something to do with prosecutors. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Ah, yeah, hype man in the house. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. It just, every time, it just tickles my funny bone a little. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just touch the partner button, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Ah, yes. An ace investigator. Because you're always so great at that, Gumshoe. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Okay, so this is not what I imagined it to be like. Interesting. I'm also assuming we're going to be able to switch out partners because this one specifically says Gumshoe. And there was other people on the title box. Like, with art. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine the area. Yes, this is very new. Also, just so you all know, as you might have noticed, I added a little chat box area and a suspect box, so the next time we play, I'll add that weird person to the suspect box if we find out their name. I won't rest until I've inspected every nook and cranny. Oh no, he died in the library. R.I.P. Avocado Man. That's a Danganronpa joke. So if you've never played Danganronpa, I'm sorry. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. And I will get it updated, that autopsy report. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. Honestly, I wish I had those sort of organization skills. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to touch the organizer button. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. Ah, yeah, profiles. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. What else is of note here? So we saw the gunshot. Did we see the blood on the hand? I feel like that only got taken up with the entirety of the body look. But this looks like a wallet. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. Oh, that's a police badge. I hope you've seen one, Gumshoe. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinkydink. Let's take a look inside. You can feel his exasperation. Mr. Buddy Faith. Oh, he looks different. Must be an old picture. So, Buddy Faith, detective. Interesting. Or maybe this is a fake badge, because Gumshoe doesn't seem to recognize him. In fact, none of the officers seem to be surprised to see him. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. Oh, look at that logic step. Yeah, he definitely looks different. Either that or maybe he was undercover. Your files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Alright, so maybe early assumptions. Perhaps the prosecutor was using fake evidence or forging or framing individuals. As we saw in the previous game, that's bad. Don't do that. It's just wrong. Don't. Very bad. And maybe this cop was undercover. He's like, yes, I am normal person seeking a prosecutor. And I need a totally legitimate case. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And the prosecutor was like, yes, here is my totally legitimate case. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And then the cop was like, ha, I'm actually a cop. And the dude's like, oh no, you're a cop. Well, here's my gun. Obviously, as we all know, that wins. That's just how you win the fight. I mean, this just rendered the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. What? No, that's not true. You specifically said at the beginning Gumshoe was supposed to keep your room tidy. Edgeworth, I feel like I'm getting mixed messages here. Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. That's gonna overwater them. Those flowers are dead. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. That you should be thanking him. That is nice of him. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? Apparently his life is being a nice person, and you should say thank you. Alright. So I think that's a good look at the body. In this corner here. Ah, watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir. Edgelord, nice. Got him. That killer is gonna pay this tea set. Yikes, you're really mad over this. This tea set is very dear to my heart and can only be bought in England. It cost more than your whole month's paycheck. I mean, that's not speaking much, seeing as how much his paycheck has been completely cut down over the years. What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks. Like, wasted a whole $2. Oh, it's your trophy. The, Knight of Prosecutors, right? Okay, so this is King of Prosecutors, and it's not a trophy, it's a shield. Pretentious. This places it after the first game, I believe, then. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. We live in a society, says Edgeworth. As for my own worth, it's all of Edge. That is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Gumshoe's such a fanboy. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Rude. Sorry, you might be hearing the voice of my mother speaking in my home. How is it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art. Yeah, the real reason is because he needs to use the microphone in one of the worst mini-games for streaming ever. Well, I never. I'm so offended this person is trying to do their job, says Edgeworth. I'm like painting Edgeworth in such a mean light. I'm so sorry. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet, there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction. Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. I wonder what that could be. I almost want to, like, ignore it as long as possible just to be rude. It's been a while since I've sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. It's so tidy that it looks newer than when I first bought it. Oh yeah, that thing's so polished, it makes mirrors jealous. Don't tell me you had no other work the entire time I was away, detective. My job is to protect your office, sir. And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred in it. Hey! Don't blame him for that. That's harsh, sir. I have to admit, the desk has never looked better. So I guess I can't dock his pay. What? You know what, I was like, sorry I'm painting Edgeworth in an unflattering light, but like, also Edgeworth is painting himself in an unflattering light. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. Honestly, I feel like that's a bad idea. Like, at least try to move it. Like, don't just leave it in the room. I think I've seen one of these before. Maybe this is a police gun. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model, I think. Okay, so maybe this is the officer's gun. The prosecutor wrested it from him, explaining the struggle. And that would be why, like, things are so tussled. Because the person started... Because we know the other person is a cop and all that. I think. Detective... I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, You do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir, because it's a cop model. So, I think we can logic that one. I don't use mine much, except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the one used by this precinct's detectives. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm gonna say Detective Man and confirm, along with revolver. I feel like that's pretty okay to connect. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives, could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir, this guy's wearing a gun holster. Wow, we did like the worst job of examining ever. Like, that was really obvious. That was just like move his jacket. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Alright. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the scroll wheels to rotate an object. There is no such thing as a bad angle. Use the slide bar or the X and Y arrows to zoom in and out to get at the nitty-gritty. Alright. Seems like a word there, but it's not important apparently. To think that it's so easy to take a life with just the pull of the trigger. You know, I can't ever see myself really liking guns. Oh, but I love the ones they use at track and field meets to start races. If you take off before it's fired, everyone ends up always following your lead. To chase you down for a false start, detective. Now that you mention it, even when I finish first, I always wind up in last place. Oh my goodness. He's very bad at this. Alright, maybe we can see how many bullets were fired. Yeah, I want to check the barrel. Looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wresting the gun from him. Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. Oh no, I spilled water all over. I guess this is about all we're gonna find out. We should send the body to Jim. Who's Jim? Oh my goodness. Wait a second. Why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? This is the murderer. Hey! Are you alright? Look at that. Look at that empathy. Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! So sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. Okay, he's clearly trying to mess with some evidence. Like, the body? The body? Don't just talk about him like he's some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he just turned in for the night. Okay, that wasn't his name, so clearly he was undercover as Jim. Which, if I met a Jim in real life, instant suspicion. Sure. Just in a blood-stained suit, pal. Look at these real tears I'm crying. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes I am. I'm Jaques Portsman. Jaques? I don't know how to pronounce words. Portsman. Prosecutor Portsman. Jim here was my partner in crime busting, and totally not undercover trying to unveil I was a fraudster. Look at these real human tears I'm crying, because I'm so sad. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor. Detective Gumshoe, sir? So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office? I say like I totally don't know the answer. I hate this guy. Yes, that is correct. Then it was you! Yeah, he's trying to frame us. I knew it. You're the one who killed Jim. Who was totally Jim. Look at my real human anger. Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. Hi, prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. Why do you know so much about that, Portsman? Huh? And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? Oh, he's gonna be like, now it's you, Gumshoe! Oh no! Gumshoe, stop! He's implicating himself in murder. Gumshoe, a heart of gold, but a brain of rock. So the only one who could get in here was me. Oh, wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then! You're Jim's killer. The killer was you, Gumshoe. No way, pal. You've got it all wrong. Everyone, calm down. Ding, ding. He says it's like he's still smiling. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right. My mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes, and I'm totally not trying to throw the heat off myself, so no one suspects me. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal, where I totally won't do something sketchy with my twitching hand. Like, look, it's twitching. A pleasure to work with you. I sure hope you don't frame me for murder and try to use our collaboration to fake evidence showing it isn't you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Yeah, go get your own room. This is mine. See me again when you're cool enough for an office. Thank you. I intend to. I just want a little bit more time to say goodbye to Jim and totally not cover up evidence. You there. Sir. Look at that firm handshake. Can't trust someone with a handshake like that. I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. Jim. Like giant old quotes. Jim. I should probably give them some space. That way, it will make the trial so much more difficult. Because he will definitely have destroyed so much evidence. How do I leave? How do I give him space? I'm trapped. I'm gonna examine this. Oh! Oh no! Okay, this is odd. The gunshot is here, so how was the man shot? Obviously, the gun we see in the room isn't the murder weapon then. Possibly a different gun was used. Ah, your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor? Or the body was moved, but I can't figure out why. It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried... Wait. It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. He did do that. So that means he either had two guns on him, or he didn't use that gun to shoot the person. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? Look. The jacket's fine. What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. I mean, that case was awful anyways. It ended so badly. Like, I won't say it, because spoilers, but that isn't a happy case. Huh? Like what? Need some water. My throat. I think my allergies are acting up. I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Yes. Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. He's sounding like Phoenix, because him and Phoenix are very close, and he hates to admit it, but him and Phoenix are very close. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. Phoenix might have magic, but I have logic. When a scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence, or seems off, that's when my deductive skill comes into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction, the gunshot. This is it. The bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should touch the deduce button with conviction. Conviction. Very important. You can't be hesitant. And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. So are we not going to be in a courtroom at all? Like, is all the gameplay going to be just outside of a courtroom? I'm very confused. Uh-oh. The dogs might bark. There's a package. Let me just hope that doesn't happen. I'm going to present the revolver. I can hear the puppy. The puppy's scratching at the door. The puppy doesn't bark a lot. Usually he only barks when the older dog barks. Uh-oh. I also hit the grapefruit tree we got next to me. Since I'm at college, my room has such things as, like, office supplies and a lemon tree and a grapefruit tree. Which is fun. Oh, wait, tangent. But also, I would like to make an announcement. I have reached more than 10 followers. So I would just like to formally thank everyone for getting me to at least 10 followers. So thank you all who follow. It's great having you all here. And who knows, maybe I'll get to 50 followers one day. And that's when I can make money. And maybe I'll do like a special 50 follower face cam sort of stream. That would be cool. Perhaps. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled the frame. Hey, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets were fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? That. It's a secret safe. Secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and say this. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. I use it to keep all my updated autopsy reports, specifically to annoy Phoenix Wright. Because he would have something like that. Now, if you kindly move the frame out of the way. Roger that. Achoo, achoo! Talk about dusty. I mean, dust is one of the best ways to make sure someone isn't getting into your safes or your secret doors. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. Yes, he would have, 'cause Gumshoe is a gem. So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Okay, that's important, because maybe evil prosecutor Portsman has his gun in his safe. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. Or, what would be even funnier, to me personally, because this is like cybersecurity 101, but imagine if Edgeworth just didn't reset the password, like Portsman got in and put the gun there, because Edgeworth is still using factory settings. Like, I don't know, I just find that funny. So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it. Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Well, let me in, then. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Oh, yep, see? This is what happens when you don't reset the factory setting, kids. Actually, when I was little, I read a Sammy Keys book. And that was one of the things they did, where they had a safe, and it was like a family safe, and this mom was like, this like family lady who had a business was like, yeah, my husband died and he never gave us the safe key, and it has a bunch of our documents in it. And how they got in was they called up the company who made the safes, and they got a bunch of the manufacturer keys and tried those out to see if it would open the case. And it did. I just remember that for very odd reasons. Yeah, there was a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist? Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. There's going to be, like, no fingerprints at all, which is going to be equally suspicious. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. See? Remember, kids, he stopped recording the goodbye. Huh? Who stopped recording the goodbye? I'm very confused. Oh. You're right. Yeah, who was... As I thought. Oh, yeah, let me look at that. I totally forgot that guy was recording. You're totally right. Let me look at that once I'm done. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. That's the, silliest way. Or, no, he's still there recording. Yeah, no, see, he's still recording. He's just, I guess by recording, he's like, this instead makes it look like he's taking a ton of pictures, and he's gonna stitch them together like a little animation. Just a very disjointed recording. Not gonna lie, when you said he stopped recording the goodbye, I was afraid that meant I stopped recording or something. Like, my stream crashed. But that is... I'm still not sure what the point of the recording is, and I'm curious what's going on there. So... it's more that I'm forgetful, and it's not your vague speech, trust me. It's the fact that I don't know ever what people mean. I'm very bad at interpretation. So, I want to say another handgun with the white fingerprints, because I'm assuming the other gun's going to be in there. So that's what I'm gonna connect. Connect those dots, as you say, and put, oh, not exactly a shining example. Well, that's whack. Okay, then I'm gonna say killer's goal and white fingerprints. And then hopefully that connection will get us to the point that the handgun is probably in there. I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe. Or maybe he had some special evidence that the guy's like, I want that evidence. And we're like, no, you can't have that evidence. This is my evidence. Making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind the break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information tell me about this case. Was the killer's motive theft? I'm gonna say then another handgun, because I don't think it was exactly theft. Oof, let's hope this doesn't hurt me too much. No. Maybe I'm just completely off the path. I mean, I think saying it's theft then connects to struggle, because it could be that it's a cop trying to stop him. There is a possibility that the files splayed on the floor, are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer, but instead of him trying to get case info. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We needed to figure out if any of the files had been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm going to shelve these files like you've never seen before. Even at a library. I work at a library. Let me tell you, the shelving is awful. We have to do like shelf readings, where it's we go through and we look to see if any of the books are out of place. And it happens so often. Just so often, because the numbers are always too close, or the system is a little weird because we go off of Library of Congress, and it's awful. Sure. Let's give that a try. Move it, Portsman. Why do all the good ones always die so young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. I mean, love to hate 'em, but I do hate 'em. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. Isn't that right, Portsman? And so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. And he's gonna mess it up, because he's trying to hide the fact that he's a murderer. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You sure know where a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. Okay, interesting. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. So, did he have his, back against the wall? Like he was shot and backed up? But then why is there a blood splatter at the bottom? It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't think we have time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. That's really concerning, consider how many murder investigations you have to deal with. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. I almost want to say it's the fact that there's a blood splatter. Oh yeah, so this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the vials were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the victim's way. Okay, but that doesn't make sense, because why would... Why, is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Well, it's the fact that he... Oh, look at this badge. That's a fancy badge. He was shot through the abdomen, but that's way too low. Yeah, pretty badge. Maybe we'll be able to give that to people. Yeah, I'm gonna say this because that's through the abdomen, but that's way too low. Unless this man's abdomen is located squarely in his leg. Oh, he says Eureka. Interesting. That's a word that you can use. Yeah. So there's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? I mean, unless he, got up, got shot, and was like, oh, let me get up. But nah. That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? Likely that the files weren't in the correct places. It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that began with it? I assume it would be the position of the body. No, I don't think it would be the position of the body because unless... And the position of the handprints can't change. So I'm going to say the order of the files. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually I think the files on the labels are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot with begin with the number O. Thank you. I'm trying. What are those doing all the way down here after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it would be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. Also, hey Rose, welcome to the stream. Though I can tell you've been jumping in and out a little bit, so. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith. Or Jim, giant quotes. Oh, hope packing goes well. Hope you have a safe trip back in. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. And then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? There's words over there. Or maybe not words, but definitely suspicious numbering. Puzzling indeed. The files were... This is gonna be 610 all over again. Or 11037 all over again. The files were thrown into disarray twice. Once before and once after the crime scene. But why? Maybe because someone left a dying message. Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Zoning in. Pew. This is a dying message. Oh, wait. This is gonna be a fake dying message. Because that says Gumshoe. What is this? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood? Well, kinda doesn't. I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, of course, Gumshoe did it, and then it proceeded to not be mentioned in Apologistus when he showed up for one moment. Also because, like, this obviously takes place in between, the first game and second game. So, you know, just in between it, Gumshoe committed murder. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Say something, sir. Also, like, that's just SOE. It appears one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? So, oh, investigation complete.